Oh, why, hello, everybody, and welcome to Chicago Reacts. My name is Kelsey, and I'm an actor and voice actor living in Chicago. And today, I'm really excited about this one. I will be reacting to I Drove to Every Rainforest Cafe in North America by Nivision. I grew up occasionally going to the Rainforest Cafe that's like near Chicago, and I remember that the food was mediocre. The ambiance was exquisite. And that my little sister got scared of the thunder there. So every time it did the storm, my mom would have to take her out of the restaurant. Great times. I loved the fish tanks, not so much the food. So I'm excited to see how this goes. Yeah. Little heads up, if you are watching this video on YouTube and it is less than 3 hours old, that means we are currently streaming on Twitch. So go to Chicago_plays on Twitch and join us there for some fun shenanigans. Cool. Let's go.
I did something really stupid when I was gone. Do you want to know what it is? This is the Rainforest Cafe. It's a themed restaurant that's decked out to look like a rainforest. They got animatronic animals. The waiters refer to themselves as safari guides. And every 30 minutes, there is a thunderstorm that happens within the restaurant. It is the stupidest, most ridiculous restaurant to exist. And I love it so much. And for that reason, I drove almost 10,000 miles to go to every single one of them. What else did you expect?
Let's freaking go. 3 weeks.
This Rainforest Cafe Odyssey began by stopping at the closest location to LA in Ontario, California. It's also where I met up with my partner, Eddie Burback. He's dastardly good looking, played a perfect game in Wii bowling, and has a mustache that makes animated Disney movie fathers cry like little wham wham babies. He was perfect. Walking into that random mall in California, I knew that we were about to embark on something truly special.
Initial thoughts? I like it here.
Yeah, it's actually gonna be good. It's good. If the food's bad, he's gonna have a horrible time.
Shut the fuck up, Jim. Entering this holy place made me feel like a young boy again.
Truly, my favorite was always that blue disc that was like the night sky. Every single, I don't know about every single. I've been to a grand total of 1 Rainforest Cafe and seen 2 with my own eyes in my life. But that blue disc on the ceiling with the stars, beautiful.
The animatronics seem so real. And the menu still had some of my favorites from my childhood, including the Gorilla Grilled Cheese Delight and the Jurassic Chicken Tidbit.
I remember getting those for sure.
What is a tidbit? I'm pretty sure we made our server's day by actually signing up for the Rainforest Cafe members card, which normally wouldn't have much use, but for our specific situation made a lot of sense. Then all of a sudden, without any warning, our first rainforest thunderstorm.
Ooh.
That thunder had us shivering in our little boots. We waved goodbye to this first Rainforest Cafe and prepare for our road trip to every single other location of this restaurant.
Okay. One in Vegas, of course.
This is the stupidest thing I think either of us have ever done.
I walked out of my apartment and I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be back for 3 weeks. Because I'm doing this.
There's gonna be so much driving.
And we're doing that driving in my 2002 Toyota Tacoma. Forest green, aesthetically rusted from the New England winters, and also the only car that I've had for the last 8 years. That's right, I drive myself to high school in this car, and I'm almost 25.
The first startup of the truck.
Not the greatest gas mileage for 10,000 miles, I'd assume.
If it didn't.
From LA, we drove 384 miles to Phoenix, Arizona, where we find our second Rainforest Cafe. And you might be asking why I'm doing this in the first place. I was one of the children whose childhood was blessed with a Rainforest Cafe-filled life. It was the best thing that ever happened to my small, tiny
childhood
body, but that's not the only reason.
A popular family restaurant in Johnson County closes its doors.
Popular restaurant Rainforest Cafe abruptly closes its doors.
The theme restaurant Rainforest Cafe has closed its location in the Oak Park Mall.
Outside today, a crew worked on...
The Rainforest Cafe is dying out. At its peak, there was 34 Rainforest Cafes in the United States.
There used to be 3 in the Chicagoland area. I honestly wonder which one I've been to.
Today, that number has been whittled down to half. And
there's still 2 in the Chicago... Maybe those were the 2 I've seen, honestly. I didn't know there were that many. I feel like I've seen the one in Nashville, though, too, if that one's in Nashville. Oh, no, it's not. What am I saying? Okay. I'm piecing together my own childhood currently. Okay, so I must have seen the two in the Chicagoland area.
If I didn't go to every last Rainforest Cafe
maybe I'll
in the
recognize
country,
another
I don't
one.
know if I would even be able to look at myself. So yeah, here we are at Rainforest Cafe number 2. Eddie and
That's
I
a pretty
decided
one.
to share the flatbread appetizer, which was served on a very fancy stone platter, typical of your higher-end eating establishment.
Look at that blue
and I got
circle.
a Beyond Burger with one of my favorite sides, safari fries.
Safari
what makes them
fries.
different from normal fries? You're
Nothing.
eating them on a safari. One of the interesting facets of this location, though, was how insanely loud the elephants we were next to were. And hey, what's a Rainforest Cafe without random animal heads sticking out of the walls without very clear proportion guidelines?
With that, we've hit Rainforest Cafe number 2.
Number
on
2.
To number 3. 4. And then 5. And then 6.
This is beautiful. Ooh, the scenery.
We're somewhere in New Mexico right now. And
I totally thought one of those was going to be in Vegas. You would think there'd be a Rainforest Cafe in Vegas, right? Like, tourism's got it, and novelty. Vegas is the land of novelty things that just make no sense anywhere else but Vegas. You'd think Vegas would have one.
And we're about to go camping in the middle of the desert.
Beautiful.
We're little crunchy granola boys sometime.
I would say mostly not me, but I'm hoping I have a good experience.
Eddie's a big crunchy
I like
guy.
beds.
Everyone refers to Eddie Burback as like Mr. Groundhog.
I know that it was Eddie
know about
top
that.
10 on Trending Burback.
Okay.
Recently, Eddie, the King of the Squirts.
Cool.
We're now at our campsite, baby. We're in the middle of
Let's
nowhere
go.
in New Mexico. So
is attacking me.
Don't get
we're
got by a
heading to the
scorpion.
Dallas Rainforest Cafe.
We set up our camp, made a little fire, and as we sat there under
Beautiful.
the stars, we dreamed of all the Rainforest Cafe visits
I
we
miss
had
camping.
left in store, weeks of experience.
It didn't go anywhere, I
in front
just
of us.
haven't done
The
it in a
world was
while.
our oyster, or should I say rainforest. That was so stupid. That didn't even make any sense. Just a quick word from the sponsor of this video, which is BetterHelp. I have ADHD, and since I have a job that requires a lot of personal executive functioning, it can sometimes be a heavy weight on my own personal mental health, amongst other things. If you're struggling with your own mental health, you're absolutely not alone. And even if the people around you encourage taking care of your mental health, it can be difficult to know where to start. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone,
I love
and
when
even
people
live
do
chat sessions
the
with
bar
your therapist.
for
You
how
don't
long
even
the
need
ad
to
will
see
be.
someone on camera if
That's
you
very
don't want.
cool.
There's a broad
It's
range
very-
of expertise
it's very
in
courteous.
BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network, so you can have access to help that may not necessarily be available in your area. You fill out a questionnaire to help assess what your specific needs are, and you get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Then you schedule secure video and phone sessions, and everything that you share is
Soothing
completely
music.
confidential. If you find your therapist isn't right for you, then you can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. If you think BetterHelp might be good for you, then you can get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Ted Nivision.
Nivision. I totally called him Ted Nivision. Ted, bud, I am so sorry. Now I know your last. I thought it was like television or a pun on that, but that's the dude's name. All right. Ted, this is my formal apology. I am so sorry. Ted Nivision, I should say. I'm so sorry to this man.
It's 5:30 in the morning, and we have to drive an additional 10 hours
Let's
to
go.
make it to our
Let's
next
go.
Rainforest Cafe. If we don't, our plans will be squandered.
We have reservations tonight.
Reservations.
First, we hit
At the
White Sands
RC?
National Park, which is pretty literal to the name.
Ooh,
There's
that's
sand dunes
beautiful.
everywhere, baby. What the hell is going on? Why is this in America?
From there,
Fun fact, there are 2 places in Alaska where there are just random sand dunes in the middle of nowhere. I've always wanted to go to Alaska, but I really, really, really want to go there. Like, how cool is that? Random sand dunes just in the middle of the forest in Alaska. It's just like a little desert. There are videos on YouTube and there are articles that there are so many random places in the US, like geographically that make no sense. And I wish, hopefully someday I can go to a lot of them because they seem cool. Like this place, that's dope.
621-mile trek to Dallas, Texas.
Let's go to
and when you've got
Dallas.
10 hours of drive time, sometimes roadside attractions
Girl stuff,
become as enticing
fireworks.
as ever.
Eddie, Pistachio Land.
Pistachio?
Land. Have you ever seen the largest pistachio before? Chances
No,
are
and I'm fine with that. I could be on my deathbed and someone would go, "What are your regrets?" And I would say, "Definitely not missing out on the largest
pistachio.
Yeah, their billboard ad.
They want us to go.
That's how advertising works.
Yeah, you got to make your reservation, bud.
That's so true. Bigger is better.
You can freak out all you want.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to forgive you or myself if I don't see the largest pistachio in the world.
I can't stress enough how much I can live with that.
It's the largest pistachio.
We're not going to the fucking pistachio.
The men are fighting. Wow. It's not even a real pistachio. How rude.
Okay, well, I'm satisfied. We made it to Dallas,
Brand new
Texas.
Western wear.
First thing we noticed at this Rainforest Cafe was the difference in the population.
I loved that thing. The Rainforest Cafe had like a little pond that had like dry ice smoke or like a Halloween smoke machine. And then this little animatronic gator that would go and open its mouth and you would try to throw pennies in there.
Of customers.
I love
in the
that.
Restaurant.
It's a miracle. We're not the only ones.
Perhaps it was because it was the first Rainforest Cafe we went to that had fish.
What? Well, then again, last time I went to one was probably the last time this dude went to one. Listen, the Chicagoland Rainforest Cafes were all about fish.
It could be because of a theory I've held for a while that I was seeing in the flesh for the first time. The Rainforest Cafe Texas Supercluster Theory.
Oh? Yeah, weren't there a bunch in Texas?
This is the Texas Rainforest
Whoa.
Cafe Supercluster, as I've mentioned, which means I think that all of the restaurants in this area are going to be higher quality. They're going to be busy. They're going to have lots of people. Food's going to be good. Drinks are going to be popping. We've barely scratched the surface.
Yeah,
ladies and
it's a good
gentlemen,
assumption.
of what we can discover. It's a pretty good sign if a specific Rainforest Cafe is completely booked up. The Galveston one, the San Antonio one, they're both booked up out the wazoo.
Now we're starting to reserve Rainforest Cafes ahead of time.
We cannot afford to not get into one of these Rainforest Cafes.
The Galveston one
We can't afford to
Somebody said
not.
it was a ride. Then I heard it was a water ride.
If there is even a chance that we can go on the Galveston Rainforest Cafe ride, I want it.
We gotta do it.
You have to.
Right now, I'm imagining like a tiger-themed roller coaster that goes through the restaurant, and I don't think it's going to be anything like that.
And we
just
drove from
Splash Mountain. You walk outside the restaurant, it's Splash. Even better, Splash Mountain, but like it ends up. You start the top of the ride outside of the restaurant, and then when you go, you're in the middle of the restaurant. You're in the fish tank. You have to climb out, smelling like fish poop, and say, "I'd like some dinosaur chicken tidbits."
From Dallas all the way down to San Antonio
that would be great.
to reach Rainforest Cafe number 4. It was situated in a pretty cool location, the Riverwalk in San Antonio.
That seems like too like nice and like fancy and cute of a location for a Rainforest Cafe to be. They're usually in the middle of a mall or like off the side of a highway.
We also met up with some pals here that you may know. This location was cool because it had 3
Wow.
floors to it. It was really compressed into the location it was in, which was unique to this Rainforest
Yeah,
Cafe,
that's
I
interesting.
believe. Everyone in the group had a fantastic time, and I was proud to say that we converted them into RFC lovers. Don't believe me? Listen to them.
They gave me a freaking light-up cup, and it was sick.
They had my name on one of the keychains. I really appreciated that.
I didn't run out of toilet seat covers, but they did have 2 white toilet paper.
Connor had a panic attack.
We were supposed to drive back to Austin, Texas, where we
I'm
then
so
leave for
sorry to
Houston
that
the next
person.
morning. Unfortunately, though, the truck started being a bit louder than normal. It's not supposed to sound like that. Fuck. So I drove
Take
the
it
truck
in.
to the nearest Midas repair shop. If we were going to stay on schedule,
Rough.
the truck had to be fixed and fast. To see my broken green child hurting like this was almost too
Broken
much to
green
bear.
child.
But what was even harder to bear was what I had to deal with while I waited for it to be fixed. For some reason, at 7:30 a.m. in the morning, they decided to play Saving Private Ryan on the TV.
The last time I was at a Jiffy Lube, they were playing an Abraham Lincoln documentary in there. I have no idea.
Almost full.
They don't know. Their target audience is people who are going through it, clearly. Or people who like historical things. I don't know. Car places don't don't know what the people want aside from getting their car fixed, is what I'm learning.
Full volume. I don't think you understand the fever dream of watching people's heads be blown off on the beaches of Normandy at 7:30 a.m. in a Midas waiting room like it was Good Morning America. And I watched the entirety of Saving Private Ryan. Then I stepped outside briefly to get some air and make some calls, and I come back in to see that Saving Private Ryan
is being looped,
playing a second time. I was in the most uniquely crafted scenario in hell. Thankfully, the truck got fixed in time, but now something within me is broken. Before we left Austin,
Cafe
though,
hat.
we got a little peek into the rainforest by getting to meet the animals at Alveus Animal Sanctuary. I got to stroll with an emu.
Oh yeah, that gal that went with them does like the cool TikTok things where she interviews animals with a tiny microphone. Those videos are also on YouTube. They're very, very good.
Which is a terrifying
They're my
bird
favorite.
that seems like it should not exist. And I made friends with the crows. They will remember me with their 5th grader brains as an ally to the world of crows. This is a crow.
His name's Rabbit.
He's gonna remember my face. And you know, these animals sort of reminded me of all the mascots for the Rainforest Cafe. They're called the Wild Bunch, and they're all known criminals. You've got Cha-Cha, the red-eyed tree frog, a money launderer. Iggy the iguana, a thief. Niall the crocodile,
Look at his neck.
arrested for drunk driving. Rio the macaw, an infamous poacher. Maya the jaguar, tax evasion. Tuki the elephant, cyberbully. Bamba the gorilla in the can
convicted cyberbully
for assault and battery. And Ozzy the orangutan.
Doesn't look.
So we drove to Houston, Texas.
He doesn't even
to
look like
visit
an
the
orangutan.
Katy Mills Rainforest
He's just general
Cafe.
monkey.
This Rainforest Cafe was a pretty standard mall Rainforest Cafe. Delicious and exciting meal as always. But we went to bed that night thinking of the Rainforest Cafe we had tomorrow. The #1 Rainforest Cafe in Texas, Galveston.
Come on, let's go.
We were greeted the next morning by the most impressive Rainforest Cafe we had seen.
Ooh, that
a
beach.
Beautifully shaped volcanic building along with a handy sign that showed us the one and only Rainforest Cafe ride.
Stop
this was
it.
Be one for the books. This location was popping, and we ate some of the most delicious general American chain restaurant food money could buy. Eddie even enjoyed a slushie with that money launderer's head on it.
Cha-Cha.
Then we bought
sucking out Cha-Cha's sweet alcoholic brains.
Electric RFC experience yet.
Let's go. Let's go. It is a river ride.
Look out!
This rocks. Who maintains this thing? No freaking way. Oh, it's that guy.
To say we were blown away would be an understatement. That was the greatest thing I had ever seen. I almost didn't even want to leave.
They're wearing matching shirts.
What the hell?
I mean, wow.
Wow. This
I don't think
lived up, and I think
any other Rainforest Cafe can like come close at that point.
it was a little bit better.
What are you gonna do after this?
Am I kind of
They should have come there last. Actually, I don't know. That would not have worked logistically. They should have gone back home, flown in from LAX, rented a car, driven, and gone there last.
you over to the side of the Rainforest Cafe?
Well, no. If we weren't doing this video and you said like, do you want to go to the Rainforest Cafe for like another time this month? I'd still probably say no. Is your enjoyment ramping up no matter the location, just every time we go to one? You're not tired of the safari fries for the 6th time in a row?
Here's what I'll say. I think if you just get a little bit more Rainforest Cafe, it'll click for you.
No, so the problem is that I'm having too much.
Why don't we table this for a little bit, I suppose?
I mean, we could table
Why don't we
it, but
table this conversation?
yeah, I'm not going to change my opinion.
So we drove from Galveston all the way to celebrate our progress in New Orleans, still living off the high of that last rainforest, but there was still more to come. After breakfast in New Orleans, we began our drive to Gainesville, Florida, and oh my God, what is that?
Buc-ee's.
I was blessed with a vision of a mascot character advertising a gas station called Buc-ee's, and I just had to make a stop and check out what the hell was going on. I forced Eddie to...
They don't have them in Chicagoland, but I've been to Florida a lot of times in my life.
Push a
Buc-ee's.
run because we'd never been to Buc-ee's before.
We were out of gas. Ted had to skip multiple gas stations to go to Buc-ee's.
This is the most massive gas station shop I had ever seen. They had everything. Some guy was chopping a brisket like it was the only thing that he had ever learned in his entire life. This beaver was running an empire under my nose the entire time, and they sold everything. They had jelly. They had...
To be fair, I've not been to a Buc-ee's. but they are... If you spent any amount of time in Florida, that's more than going like twice, you probably know about Buc-ee's.
Damn. Is there even a market for pickled quail eggs? Even the ice was funny. 69, that's the sex number. My love for mascots, my love for theme. I just couldn't handle it.
I just feel like you're kind of a sucker for mascotted brands.
What do you mean?
The tag flipped so that it's another logo.
On day 8, we reached the southernmost Rainforest Cafe in the United States.
Miami.
Just outside of Miami, Florida, for our 7th visit to this magical place. Although this Rainforest Cafe wasn't the one in Florida I was most excited about, that would come when we drove back north to Orlando. Upon arriving in Orlando,
that's gotta be good. That's gotta be good if you're gonna compete with or be in the same general geographical location as Disney World and Universal. You gotta have something special, right?
And we met up with Drew and Amanda, who would be joining us for this stop at the Disney Springs Rainforest Cafe. This Rainforest Cafe had an exterior that was an even more intense volcano building than Galveston.
Whoa! Are you kidding me?
I didn't know it would do that.
And the classic crocodile for this one was just hanging out next to the volcano. Walking into this Rainforest Cafe, I knew that we'd be convincing Amanda and Drew to join our RFC fan club. The atmosphere was on point. This was a pretty good one. Drew and Amanda were having so much fun that we had to take an RFC fan club family photo to save the memory.
Look at the server in the background.
And since our waiter got lost in the jungle for 40 minutes to find our check, we got to spend extra time listening to elephant screams and thunder claps.
Beautiful.
Drew was practically overwhelmed with satisfaction.
What a time, Eddie.
I don't know if you call it that.
If I murder him, will you vouch for me to the police?
In order to reach the second Orlando-based Rainforest Cafe, we had to venture into probably the most thematically appropriate place for one to be, which was the fucking Animal...
Wait a second. I didn't know that there was an Animal Kingdom Rainforest Cafe. What?
Kingdom in Disney World.
What?
We're currently at the most exclusive Rainforest Cafe location, hidden within
the this one's got to be even better then, maybe.
Media conglomerate. It's Animal Kingdom Rainforest Cafe. What a
delight. Come on.
There's a real mouth.
But that's not the only thing that made this Rainforest Cafe special. This location is the only Rainforest Cafe in the entirety of North America to serve breakfast.
Whoa.
That's right. We were there at 9 a.m. and we were going to start our day with a Rainforest-themed breakfast feast. This breakfast selection came with its own menu, with a slew of options somehow more ridiculous
Pie of the
than
Viper.
The Jurassic chicken tidbits. I raise you Pie of the Viper. A
what is that?
Mexican-style breakfast pizza. It's like they spun those 3 descriptors on a slot machine. We ended up getting
Tonga
the breakfast
toast.
sliders. I don't know if it was because the eggs were fresh or they just put crack in them, but those sliders were good. I also got a Bloody Mary that morning at 9 a.m., but I only did it because I was trying to get something out of it. But I'll tell you what that is when I finish this trip. Of course, after leaving, the only thing that was on our minds was to go on an actual safari. We saw zebras. We saw giraffes. We saw monkeys. The only thing that would have made this better is if I had a plate full of safari fries on my lap. I was over the moon. Of course, moments like these can't last forever. So after spending the rest of our day at the Animal Kingdom, our journey would continue as we reached...
It was in Nashville. It was in Nashville. Okay, I think I've seen this one in Nashville. And the 2 outside Chicago.
Nashville, Tennessee.
So I've had the privilege of seeing 3 Rainforest Cafes. And I've been to Animal Kingdom, but I didn't know. So maybe I've also seen the Animal Kingdom one, but don't remember it. Folks, I may have seen 4 Rainforest Cafes in my life. That's
the most
wild.
out-of-the-way Rainforest Cafe on the entire route. We left so early in the morning that we got there before it had even opened, so we waited.
This mall is dope. I did not go to this Rainforest Cafe, but this mall is dope.
Sit in a mall at 11 a.m. and wait for a Rainforest Cafe to open. There was a shocking amount of people in this Rainforest Cafe at 11 a.m. And since this location didn't even serve breakfast, what are you here for? Brunch at the Rainforest Cafe?
Getting the kids out of the house.
This is also where we learned an interesting fact about why some of the Rainforest Cafes get rid of the fish. They spend $3.5 million a year per location just for the fish.
What? That is
probably why
wild.
this fish has been staring me down the whole time we ate. He
Look at his
knew he
eyes.
was more expensive than me, and he
Yeah.
wanted me to know it. Either way,
Those
Eddie and I
them
were
big
having
ol'
the time
eyes.
of our lives. I could just tell. Eventually, it was time for us to leave Tennessee and make our way further north. We were heading to the Atlantic City Rainforest
Oh,
Cafe.
Atlantic
We were on a
City
roll.
has
Two
one.
Rainforest rascals rolling down the open road, going to every location of a beautiful themed restaurant. Everything was going great. Nothing could stop us. That is, of course, until disaster struck us.
Oh,
like
no.
lightning to an animatronic gorilla.
No.
We've run into a bit of an issue of a caliber that may be a big problem. Very large problem, actually.
We were driving on the highway and the truck reacted really abnormally to what would be a small bump. I noticed the truck was aggressively leaning to one side, and when I
what?
checked under it, I discovered this.
That is the suspension right there. It has
Oh.
As far as I know, it would be a really, really bad idea to drive this car without
Yes.
shocks.
The damage was so bad we had to get the truck towed to the nearest repair shop. For now, Atlantic City had to wait. It seemed like our entire journey was being called into question. I stood there in the drizzling rain of Delaware as
The
I
moment
watched
of
my
reckoning in
Steve be hauled
Delaware.
away. The rain felt like what I had experienced in a rainforest, not so unfamiliar to me now. I knew in my heart that there was a way to get this done in 3 weeks, but tonight we had to stay in hell on earth. Newark, Delaware. This put our road trip plans in a terrible situation.
Never heard of
Would
it.
we be able to get the truck fixed tomorrow? Or would parts not come and we'd be waiting a day or 2 days? We literally had no
Rough.
idea. All we could do was wait for tomorrow. We received a rainforest miracle. The truck was fixed.
rainforest
Somehow,
miracle?
They found parts for the truck, and we had a chance
Beautiful.
to make back the time
Beautiful.
we lost. But we'd have to go to 2 rainforest cafes in 1 day. So
No.
we raced as fast as we legally could
Oh,
to Atlantic
that's
City, like
brutal.
madmen. And when we arrived at this rainforest cafe, we ordered our food and drinks and immediately asked for the check. We scarfed down mozzarella sticks like starving British orphans, and I sucked down that cheetorita like I was a dehydrated elephant at the watering hole. A quick touch to the Atlantic Ocean, and we
Beautiful.
kept going, screaming down the roads of New Jersey like our wives were in labor. There wasn't a damn thing that was gonna stop us now. And we arrived just in time to reach the Edison, New Jersey Rainforest Cafe. So we had heard stories of this Rainforest Cafe. It was rumored to be the lowest performing
The
location
worst
in the country.
one?
I can summarize the state that it was in with this. The crocodile pond was devoid of water.
No, he's not even moving.
We were joined at this lowest performing Rainforest Cafe with Nakey Jakey and our boy Fritz.
This is the worst location that we heard from other Rainforest Cafe employees. If you look at the sign, let's go.
Despite the flaws
Honestly,
of this
let's
Rainforest
go.
Cafe, it was still a Rainforest Cafe. The wow factor was still there, and you could see that Jakey
Flickering
was having
sign.
a good time. Jakey and Fritz were so inspired by this Rainforest Cafe that they gave us a little bit of slam poetry.
Rainforest Cafe in the forest, built like a snake. I'm Forrest Gump. I forgot my rake, and he doesn't like to hump.
Then we drove into New York City, spent
All
some
right,
time celebrating our journey thus
NYC.
far with Jakey and friends, and prepared to hit the road once more because we weren't finished yet.
Let's go.
On day 15, we reached
In
the American
Niagara.
Niagara Falls Rainforest Cafe. And this Rainforest Cafe is significant because I've already been to this Rainforest Cafe before. 4 years ago with my buddy Ross, it's one of the earliest videos on my channel. And I was delighted to see that it was still open. Maybe there is hope. I bought a Niagara Falls Rainforest Cafe crew neck
Beautiful.
with all my favorite criminals on it.
Oh, beautiful.
yeah, man, it's good, I guess.
And from there, we prepared to cross the border.
There's one on the New York side and one on the Canadian side. That is absurd. That's why it says North America. That's a absurdity right there. Ah. But you know people are going to do that. Like if I were staying on either side of the river, I would just be like, well, we have to go to the other one just cuz, you know? I would totally do this. Who am I kidding? I would do this in like a heartbeat. This also raises a question in my mind for my own personal Rainforest Cafe journey. When I was like 8, my family took a road trip to Niagara Falls and stayed on the Canada side. So now I'm wondering if I've been to that Rainforest Cafe and don't remember it. I have no idea. I might have a more storied past with Rainforest Cafe than I even know.
In order to go to the last Canadian Rainforest Cafe, all we had to do was just pass through Border Patrol.
Once you have that code, then you can seek entry to Canada.
Oh.
Right now, unfortunately, you're not able to.
No!
We just got denied entry
into Canada.
We got in 5 minutes later when we filled out the right paperwork. This Canadian location was unique in that it was the only privately owned Rainforest Cafe. So
Interesting.
The menu was a bit more custom than your average RFC.
Love that.
Even the fish population was custom, and by that I mean they had a fucking
shark?
That's my favorite animal from the rainforest. Even the animatronic animals seemed a bit more lively than what we were used to. We also saw this waterfall, but not a Rainforest Cafe, so no reason to care, me say.
All right, Detroit.
We stopped at Rainforest Cafe number 15 in Detroit, Michigan.
So many Rainforest Cafes.
The amount of Rainforest Cafes we had been to was weighing on Eddie. We had been to so many thus far, and it was probably impossible for him to figure out what his favorite one was. I really felt for him, because I was going through the same thing. From Detroit, we drove to Chicago, where we stayed with Eddie's mom, and on day 17 for our 16th Rainforest Cafe, we traveled from Chicago to Gurnee, Illinois.
Oh, it's in Gurnee. I thought there was one in Schaumburg.
To enjoy another helping of safari fries at
Or maybe there was one in Schaumburg and it closed. I have no idea.
The RFC. And this time we were joined by Danny Gonzalez. Danny and I just clicked.
Wow.
He was a Rainforest Cafe lover.
I did theater as a child with Danny Gonzalez. And then I was like, huh. And then when he got popular on like Vine and YouTube, I was like, huh. I did theater with that kid when I was little.
Like myself, and he might have been having a better time than
photo
I
booth.
Was, which
please tell me they did the photo booth.
Wow, like he must have been a veteran too, because he knew Tracy Tree by name.
Tracy Tree.
It's a talking tree that's in every single gift shop.
I forgot about Tracy Tree until until this very moment.
Single Rainforest Cafe, and they say the same thing every time.
Check out the wild selection of toys, gifts, and souvenirs right here in the rainforest.
The tree is a sellout.
Eddie's joy,
the tree, the tree's not as pure as I remember.
He's more of a philosophical lover of the RFC. Honestly, I think it makes him kind of cool. Danny and I walked out of there with a glorious safari march, and he loved it so much that he said this.
My favorite thing about the Rainforest Cafe was the way the waiter was so nice, and he reminded me of a real rainforest.
It's so nice. Thank you for that
right now we are
input.
To Bloomington, Minnesota, which is the location of the second to
I think there was one in Schaumburg. I've definitely seen that one, but I think there's one in Schaumburg too.
Rainforest Cafe, and also the first
the mysteries
Rainforest
continue.
Cafe to ever have been open. This is a very big deal
Oh,
for me. I can't believe
the first one was in Minnesota. Minnesota?
Almost every Rainforest Cafe at this point.
Blessed. Maybe words like cursed, imprisoned, spells have been cast on me.
Oh, come on, man.
Spells have been cast on me.
Wingardium Depressioso.
What are you talking about, dude? More like Wingardium Safariosa is what I'm thinking, baby.
So we set our sights on where
Let's
this
go.
rainforest found its roots in the Mall of America. It was such a maze
Oh,
to
Mall of
navigate
America.
through that
Okay,
we
I'm
made
not
it there
surprised.
Just an hour before closing. Lucky for us too, because I think that this was Eddie's favorite Rainforest Cafe yet.
Look at him.
Hello, kids. My name is Tracy.
Not the remix. Come on.
Everybody loves animals.
This is so much. The production value. Beautiful. Jeez.
Are you being paid by the Rainforest Cafe?
What are you talking about?
How are you still having a good time?
We're going to every Rainforest Cafe in the United States, Eddie. That's a joy.
I love this
The road
ongoing
trip are
skit
fun,
that's
But then
happening.
we fucking end up in another rainforest. We've been to 17 rainforest cafes.
And don't you feel like the luckiest person in the world?
Why would that make me feel lucky?
You got animatronic animals, safari fries. Have you tried the safari fries?
If I eat another fucking safari fry, dude, I'm dunking myself in the alligator pit. Slowly as we continue.
Hot take. You can dunk yourself in the alligator pit without having to eat more fries. You can just do that. No one's stopping you. Want to take a dip with that alligator, collect some pennies? Go for it.
I'm more and more miserable. Every goddamn mall, every Mills Mall, fucking Katy Mills, Auburn
Mills Mall are the best ones. They're the ones that bring life to a small town.
Small town, there's suburbs in major cities. It's just a boring fucking mall. I just have no idea how you continue to go to Rainforest Cafe after Rainforest Cafe with the same menu and enjoy it more and more.
Maybe it's because it's all I have.
Oh.
This skit.
It's all I have. When I was a boy, I went to the Rainforest.
The same
Cafe.
photos.
I was a miserable little boy until I stepped through those doors and I saw the animatronic animals. I ate the safari fries. I sipped on the icy with Cha-Cha's head rested upon it like a golden idol. We're going to every single Rainforest Cafe because it's an awesome place. And I don't know what I would do if it was gone.
Do you understand the toll 17 Rainforest Cafes has
All
on
right,
your
boys.
digestive system? I gotta find a moment to try and fix it.
And I gotta find a moment when you'd show me just a sliver of appreciation for this beautiful trip I'm taking you on. But no, we're gonna go to the last Rainforest Cafe and you are going to enjoy the shit out of it, Eddie. I swear to God.
I'm going to enjoy it because it's the last one. I just want to be done with the trip.
Where
Don't
is
even
the last
fucking talk
one?
to me until we get there.
Well, maybe I won't.
Good.
Maybe I fucking won't.
Good.
All right, where's the last one? Where's the last one? Where's the last? Iowa. Oh, there's the green giant. Oh, just kidding. Oh, this is just a montage. Ooh, beautiful.
I had been a fool. I was so caught up in teaching Eddie about the wonder of the Rainforest Cafe that I didn't
Where is
see what
the
was
last
right
one?
in front of me the whole time. This trip was meant to bring our hearts together, not
Right.
shatter them completely.
I still can't believe
Was
that.
my love for this mega corporation-owned themed restaurant misplaced? I couldn't wrap my head around it. Maybe I should just forget about this silly goal and just
That was
work
the
on
mystery
repairing
machine.
what's left of Eddie and I's friendship. And then maybe... Wait, I forgot Eddie hasn't even tried the famous volcano cake. There's still a chance to save him. The most famous
volcano
item at the
cake.
Rainforest Cafe, the brownie sparkling volcano
I do
dessert,
remember
a
the
giant
volcano
rich
cake.
chocolate brownie cake stacked up high,
Oh.
served warm with vanilla ice cream, creamy whipped topping, caramel, and chocolate sauces. It was my only shot to instill the glory of the rainforest inside.
It's truly like a vertical stack of ice cream and then like half a pan of brownies cut up into three things that like hold up the final scoop of ice cream. Then it's got cocoa powder and sauce and they put sparkler in it. So beautiful.
And what a perfect city for our last rainforest.
There is one in Vegas. I knew there had to be one in
Cafe.
Vegas.
Las
There had to
Vegas.
be one.
Nothing bad has ever happened in this city, and
It's too
everyone
gimmicky
leaves
to not be in
wealthy,
Vegas, you know?
emotionally, I think. We arrived in Las Vegas, and I had the fire of ambition.
Wait a second. I've also been to Las Vegas. Does that mean I've seen two confirmed? No, 3 confirmed Rainforest cafes I've seen with my eyes. I've been to one, I think. But there's a chance that I could have seen with my own 2 eyes 6 Rainforest cafes in my life and been to 2 of them. I did not expect to learn about myself today.
In my heart.
But I'm like,
Once
I think
Eddie
I
knew that all he had to eat was that
pretty
volcano.
sure I've seen
I
this
could
place
see the
too.
sparkle of joy in his eyes, and I was surprised too. He was being such a meanie 1,712 miles
Or
ago.
am I just wishful thinking? No, I've seen that. I've seen that place because I was confused as when I saw it as to why the Rainforest Cafe wasn't on ground level. I was like, that's weird.
Approaching this final Rainforest Cafe, we were filled with passion. And so we entered that rainforest. We ordered that volcano, and there it was. In all
That's
its
a lot of
glory.
sauce.
All it took was one bite, and I knew Eddie's mind had changed. I could see it in his eyes. We had completed our task.
Except they had like a fake, they didn't have a real sparkler in the cake or the ice cream or whatever. It was just like a pom-pom. Slightly less magical. That's okay.
Single Rainforest Cafe in North America. And
Wow.
Eddie was a bigger Rainforest Cafe fan than ever. Look how happy it is. There's no other reason why he could be happy right now. We gazed out onto the bright cityscape of our final stop, and we almost couldn't believe it. Ontario Mills, Galveston, Texas, Bloomington, Minnesota, Niagara Falls.
We had done them all. We were
all of
true
them.
heroes. And what did I have to show for it? You may be asking? Well, every Rainforest Cafe gives you a free souvenir cup every time you buy a specific type of drink.
That's
so now,
hilarious.
I have a souvenir cup from every single Rainforest Cafe.
Okay, that actually rocks. I would love that. I like how the one from Canada is different because it's Canadian and privately owned.
In the country,
that's very fun.
Guinness Book of World Records, your move.
Wow. Wow, that is a trip. Literally. It seems like, I mean, I wouldn't do this, but now I got to re-examine my past because I truly think I've been to more Rainforest Cafes than I remember. I've got to do some deep soul searching with that. And you know what? I'm grateful for that. Grateful to be spurred on this inward journey with myself. Honestly, though, like, I don't know if I would ever go to a Rainforest Cafe again, but I definitely would at least want to, if I was like at a thrift shop and there was a Rainforest Cafe t-shirt, I'm not leaving without it, you know? Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me for this journey. And if you liked this video, you know what you can do. Be sure to like it and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. I'll see ya next time.